you guys know, I've spent an inordinate amount of time covering the bugs on Surface Duo in particular as of late after this Android 12L update. Now, to give a very brief recap, I don't think that most of the bugs people were experiencing after the 12L update were actually the fault of the 12L update. I think it was primarily coincidental timing. I think that there's a chance that there was an app update that was breaking things for some people. Obviously, I've talked about factory resetting my device and not auto-updating any system apps and that kind of fixing my problems. I've heard from tons of people who had problems who now their problems just sort of evaporated without any other update happening. The fact of the matter is that most people got the 12L update and had no issues for like 10 days to 2 weeks after the update came out, which is also odd. If it was the update that caused it, why did it wait 2 weeks before the bugs popped up? Anyways, I digress. There was another subset of issues, though, related directly to calling, which has been very, very strange. And we thought maybe it was related to one of these app updates or something as well, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's something else. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not really going to try to make heads or tails of this. I'm just going to show you this thread on Reddit, and perhaps it will be beneficial to some people. So this thread was posted a day ago, and this person is talking about how their Surface Duo 2 on 12L cannot function as a phone. Let's just read the post here real quick. Since the 12L update, and of course they put that in quotes because to them this was not an update, which again I would ask them, did this problem occur when the update came out, or did it occur 2 weeks after? Because if it occurred 2 weeks after, there's not really good correlation there to blame the update on this, is there? I digress. My Surface Duo 2 can't make or receive calls on T-Mobile. If I turn on Wi-Fi when in airplane mode, the phone can make and receive calls, though the calls are choppy, so your Wi-Fi calling is very odd. If I connect to T-Mobile, then neither Wi-Fi nor over-the-air calls get through. Have updated all the apps, etc., but no luck. Also, not much from Fi tech support. So this is important. So they're T-Mobile towers, but I believe they're using Google Fi, which does in fact use T-Mobile towers. So we'll keep moving. So finally, looks like I need to give up on this experiment unless anyone has some solutions. So I was reading through this. Aggravating Sir says, switch to a non-T-Mobile SIM, then put yours back in. Just did this morning when I couldn't make phone calls. That is very, very odd. Then another person says, they did the exact same thing based on this comment on answers.microsoft.com from a Microsoft employee who told people having this problem, pop in a SIM from another carrier, then pop your old SIM back in, and you should be able to make calls. This is very, very strange. Let's keep going, though. Froggy Pones, a Windows Insider MVP. This is a T-Mobile issue. They have an issue with the carrier provisioning related to, I don't know how you're supposed to read this. I've only ever seen it written down. I'm going to go with VoLTE. I know it's like a play on the word Volt. I'm just going to say Volt. Maybe that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. They are pushing out a bad configuration. From what I've seen, it is not related to 12L. If you're in an area that still has 3G support, you can limit the phone to that, and it will call just fine. We have to dig into the back and forth here because this is getting very interesting to me. And I wish I understood more about this stuff, but at any rate, we're going to keep going here. So Chris says, I have the exact same issue. My SIM works fine on the other phone. Does not appear to be carrier related. But Froggy Pone says, this is not your SIM. It's an issue on T-Mobile's end. The phone downloads a configuration from them, and this configuration is incorrect. Some have reported success with swapping SIMs with another provider and then back to the T-Mobile one to get a fresh configuration, but I was not successful with that. Given that this phone shows up on T-Mobile's end as Microsoft Surface 3, they are incorrectly provisioning it as a Windows tablet. Now, obviously, Microsoft does have some culpability in this situation. Even if it is completely a T-Mobile mistake, this is Microsoft's phone, and they need to be going to T-Mobile and saying, hey, you're provisioning our phone incorrectly as if it is a Windows tablet, and you are breaking functionality for some of our users, and this needs to be fixed, and here's what needs to happen. They need to be doing something. So we can't just wash Microsoft's hands of this completely, even though it might be a T-Mobile mistake here. And there's a lot more here, right? I'll link to this Reddit post, and you can kind of go through this yourself. But it appears that some users are having some success with swapping a SIM around. There's at least a couple there, and I think there were a couple in the Windows or the answers.microsoft thread as well. So there seems to be some truth to this idea that T-Mobile is effectively provisioning Duo or Duo 2 incorrectly for some people. Why not everyone? I don't know. But for some people, apparently it's being provisioned incorrectly, and this is breaking functionality on these devices on their network. Now, you may remember I had an issue, I think, like twice where phone calls were acting funny for me. No, not twice. It was more than twice. But anyways, it was happening for me. Mine went away whenever I factory reset the device. Here's a funny thing. I'm on Mint Mobile, which uses, that's right, T-Mobile towers. So it all kind of falls into place. But I didn't switch a SIM around. I've only got a Mint SIM in this house. So why was that able to fix it? Why did factory resetting fix the thing for me? I have no idea, okay? This stuff is honestly probably above my pay grade. I don't know enough about how these carriers function and what this provisioning is like and all of these things. What I am going to do for this video is I'm just going to pass this along. If you have a Duo or a Duo 2 and you're still having these calling issues and they've not resolved themselves, which is what happened to me and what's happened to some other people, if you have an extra SIM laying around the house for another carrier, now if you're on T-Mobile and this is a Mint SIM or a Fi SIM, that isn't going to work because it uses T-Mobile towers. Go get an AT&T SIM, Verizon, Sprint, whatever. Maybe Sprint would work, I don't know. Pop that in, let it do its thing, maybe reboot it or something. Put your old normal SIM back in and see if that fixes it. Fingers crossed. That's pretty much as far as I'm going to go. I'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe some of you guys are like long time like phone experts with like carriers and stuff like this. I know about phones. I don't know about carriers and towers and these things. I've never really looked into it. So maybe someone in the comments will know a lot more. Maybe Froggy Pones is in the comments. Who knows? Maybe they would like to elaborate some more on some of the theories. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. But at any rate, give it a shot. Maybe it'll help fix the problem for you. Maybe it won't. It's worth a shot, though. Guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.